Good afternoon. It is May 14th, Wednesday afternoon, 2025. You're listening to Weather with Enthusiasm. This is your weather enthusiast, weather podcaster Simcha Lefton, with the latest update regarding this severe weather outbreak, the potential severe weather outbreak. There's actually multiple outbreaks that are possible over the next several days. The first one kind of occurs today, but that's not really so much of an outbreak. We go into tomorrow. We're going to focus on tomorrow and then on Friday into Shabbos. But we also have several heat domes occurring across the world, one of them taking over Eretz Yisrael for this upcoming Shabbos, a heat dome of reaching geographical heights of 595 to 596 decimeters. In fact, even getting close to 597 decimeters at its peak, remaining just south of Israel. The Israel area will still be within a heat dome of 590 to 591 decimeters. Brutal heat expected over the weekend for including Yerushalayim, Ir HaKodesh, Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv, temperatures going into the mid-90s. Jerusalem, we could see temperatures reaching 100 degrees for this upcoming Saturday. But when you go further into the deserts, temperatures expected to go into the 100 teens. In the Eretz Yisrael over in Tiberias, that area, temperatures going into the low 100 teens, very intense stuff. Our other heat domes occurring right here in the United States. A heat dome located, it's taking place over in the Gulf of Mexico from southern Texas into the Gulf of Mexico with geographical heights of 590 building to 593 decimeters over the next couple of days. 588 seems to be the cutoff for a major heat wave, so we certainly have more than that. And then outside of this heat dome is when intense thunderstorm, that's where intense thunderstorm activity tends to develop. That's what we're going to be seeing in places like Ohio, Michigan, and portions of Wisconsin, including northern Indiana and northern Illinois. Potential for severe weather exists even to the west of these locations, even today. The issue is there's not enough moisture in the environment to really produce so many thunderstorms, or at least not to have so much confidence in thunderstorm development for today for portions of the northern plains. We've seen temperatures in the mid and upper 90s for several locations in the northern plains over the past several days, and same with southern Canada. Really intense stuff. The heat dome down in the Gulf of Mexico is kind of the source for it to some extent, but we do have downslope winds occurring, which causes increases in pressure, which brings up those temperatures. As the air descends, the temperatures rise, and that's producing the temperatures in the upper 90s the past couple of days by the Black Hills. And then Oklahoma today, we also have a similar situation taking place, pushing those temperatures into the mid and upper 90s. Texas looks like peak heating will occur today as temperatures go into the low and the mid 100 teens. For portions of southern Texas, 113 degrees, possibly a degree or two hotter than that. Much of Texas will be well into the hundreds. Dallas, Texas, low to mid 100s. As more humidity gets put into the air, as the air mass moves east and winds become more southeast, we're going to see the temperatures go a little bit down. The sun is not as efficient at heating humid air as it is for dry air, and that's when temperatures go down into the lower 90s for places like Dallas, Texas, but the heat index still remains high. Excessive heat warnings, or at this point it's being called an extreme heat warnings, in effect for portions of Texas. But generally, heat advisories are expected for some areas with a heat index up to 112 degrees, possibly even a little bit higher than that for portions of Texas. We have the Midwest portions of this country. We do have a range of temperatures forecasted according to the computer models. That's due to the doubts. That's likely due to the doubt regarding how much humidity will be in the air. But places further to the south, like Paducah, Kentucky, could expect hot and humid conditions for tomorrow and Friday as temperatures go well into the 90s, especially tomorrow. The humidity, we have a dry Pacific front that moves through the area, which could bring a drop in humidity after tomorrow. But when you get into tomorrow, that's when the dry air could be interfering with thunderstorm development. So we're going to have something unique happening tomorrow for many locations in the Midwest, including St. Louis. And what's unique is that the confidence is low on thunderstorm development on a situation that normally would almost for sure be producing thunderstorms. It's still possible that we will see thunderstorms, and if we do, the storms will likely become severe. Chicago is much closer to the main focus of thunderstorm development. It's still a slight chance that Chicago might miss it, or at least portions of Chicago could miss it. The main threat really happens up in Wisconsin, but the main severe weather threat includes Chicago as well. The Storm Prediction Center has included Chicago in an enhanced, that's the highest level we have in our country for tomorrow, an enhanced level, an enhanced severe weather risk, with the primary concerns here in Chicago being damaging winds and large hail. When you get into Wisconsin, the primary concerns is everything, including tornadoes. Some tornadoes are possible in the Chicago area as well. This is for Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening, and as this system moves east, we continue with this severe weather threat, and the chances for thunderstorms even goes up as we continue to collide with more moisture, and the chances of remaining in a capped environment gradually decrease as the system moves off to the east. The Ohio Valley is going to be a focus point for severe weather, and then really Friday afternoon into Friday night is really when the more of the southern cities, places like especially St. Louis, Missouri, Paducah, Kentucky, those areas might miss the thunderstorm development Thursday, but they get hit Friday afternoon and Friday night, and then further to the south on Saturday, on Shabbos, as we go down into Arkansas. We have over the next couple of weeks other heat domes that are expected to develop. India and Pakistan look like temperatures will be soaring into the 110s. We've even had models which have been pushing those temperatures up into the 120s towards the end of our two-week forecast. But when you get by the Caspian Sea, already today, to the east, maybe 50 to 100 miles east, to portions of the eastern portions of the Caspian Sea, not along the Caspian Sea, but you'll see the temperatures rise well into the hundreds for today. In fact, low 110s possible in places where the latitude is up to 40 to 45 degrees north latitude. So we're seeing extreme heat very much above normal. And this is something which is a little bit early, and especially when you look at the Gulf of Mexico, actually, this is like the heat dome in a certain way. You know, the first time that we're going to see temperatures hit 90 degrees this season for New Orleans, Louisiana, a Gulf Coast city, will likely be tomorrow. The same is true for St. Louis and Chicago, Illinois. We have a chance of reaching 90 degrees tomorrow for Chicago, Illinois. Chicago, always the lake creates a complication, and for places near the lake, computer models are saying different things, with anywhere from temperatures ranging from the upper 70s into the low 90s. When you take the forecast a week or two out, it's not clear whether the heat dome remains over the Gulf of Mexico or not, but there certainly is a heat dome over the desert southwest, and once it comes, it tends to stay for about 3 months, tells us the Midland, Texas National Weather Service in previous years. Strong low pressure system of 29.3 developing today moves up into the Minnesota-North Dakota border for tomorrow, strengthening to 29.1 and then 29.0 as it continues east-northeast. This storm system is a powerhouse storm system and will include an occluded front, a warm front and a cold front. This storm system has a Pacific front associated with it. A strong dry front develops off in the Illinois-Iowa border for tomorrow afternoon. A lot of times that becomes a focus for thunderstorm development, but the higher confidence again is for portions more off in the Wisconsin and the Michigan area. Northern Indiana and northern Illinois are included again in an enhanced risk, especially northeast Illinois, in an enhanced risk for severe weather. That will bring today's episode to an end. As always, stay up to date during severe weather from the National Weather Service. And NOAA Weather Radio is one of the best ways to stay up to date due to the alarm, but also the Storm Shield app could warn you even when your phone is on silent. The ringer will still go off if you have the Storm Shield app, but a weather radio is the best thing when it comes to waking a person up in the middle of the night. I wish everybody a wonderful day, and thank you for listening. Just want to go over the songs that played in the background. We have Atlantic Tunes Calm from Podcast Maker. That was the second song. We have The Calm Before the Storm by Howard Harper Barnes. That was the third song. Natural Inclination by Dream Cave. That was the fourth song. Those two songs come from Epidemic Sound. We have the Star Spangled Banner that was just playing from Epidemic Sound. And the very first song was Journey Through the Desert by Traceway. Thank you again for listening, and stay safe. Have a wonderful day and week.